What a World Cup! What a World Cup! Thank you for watching this video. If you want to, if you want to subscribe, you're welcome to subscribe, like, dislike the video, comment. I read all the comments. Leave feedback if you want to leave any feedbacks. Just finished watching the England French game. Wow, that was surprising. That was really surprising. I mean, the way England played, it looks like they should have won it, but they didn't capitalize, and France won. Honestly, Kane with the last penalty shot should have gotten it in, but he didn't. And then I forgot the guy's name basically, where he had the last shot. He came close, didn't. Um, it's in the case where it's not a surprise. I mean, I did say in one of my earlier videos that France was going to beat most likely France was going to most likely beat England and get into the finals. Um, the one thing that did shock me today was Morocco beating Portugal. I mean, this is Morocco. Morocco beating Spain was a surprise first and foremost, and then the way they beat Portugal was even a bigger surprise. The fact that Cristiano Ronaldo was benched in the first half and didn't start, I don't know all the hoo-ha as far as in relation to that as to why he was benched. I know when he was against the against Switzerland, um, they were also he was also benched and they scored 6 goals. I don't know if this is a case of there's some kind of retaliation or some form, or not retaliation, but more of a punishment if Ronaldo did something. Or two is a case of, like, what, maybe fresher, let him come into the second half and save the day as with fresher legs or something like that, but that didn't happen. People might suggest, hey, look, you know what, because of Portugal lost to Morocco is because of the fact that Ronaldo did not start. Um, Whether that's the case or not, it's not neither here nor here because of Morocco's goalie, Banu. Uh, he did really, really well, and Morocco is now going into the semifinal. First African country to go into the semifinals of the World Cup. Can they get into the finals now? That's a different story. The way Morocco plays, they are really good defensively. They know how to basically handle the ball. The question that comes down to now is, can they beat France? Honestly, I don't think so. As I said, um, this is a case where it's most likely going to be France in the finals again. Can they repeat? This is a question of who they go against. Now, the whole thing with Croatia and what's her name? Croatia and Japan. That was already done. It was Croatia and Brazil. That was a bit of a shocker, to be quite honest. I mean, down to penalty kicks. I honestly thought Brazil would come out and win. Who I did not see that happening, where Croatia beating Brazil like that. That was a shocker in and of itself. Now with our Argentina and Netherlands, all right, I did say that Argentina was probably most likely definitely going to win. The only thing was I didn't think they were going to win the way they won, basically, to the point where honestly I thought the way they played against Netherlands was very, very sloppy. Um, Argentina, if this is how they play against Croatia, they're not going to advance, because if they're going to play sloppy like this, they're not going to advance. But I think this might have been a wake up call. The Netherlands game might have been a wake up call to them. Now, there's also controversy surrounding Messi and the Argentinian team as far as how they acted after the game against the Netherlands, and there was, I think, a post game interview that Messi was just going off with someone basically at that point. I mean, honestly, I don't know all too much about the information. I only know something to the point of, like, it was Van der Waal, the coach, basically how he treated other Argentinian players and how he basically called out Messi and the Argentina, basically, and, like, saying how they would kind of suck. If that's truly the case, then yeah, turnabout's fair play in a ways, but at the same time, there's also sportsmanship and gamesmanship. Um, it comes down to this: if Argentina, and well, the other factor is, let's not forget this: Argentina also started going ballistically crazy against the ref. Um, this guy basically, it is partly true, but at the same time, there was an aspect of, well, you know what, Messi should have been given a yellow card for sure, and he should have been kicked out as a result because of the handball that he did. That was a pure handball, and that was no accident. If it was an accident, even still, every player that has actually done a handball should have been kicked out. So Argentinian players should not be complaining about the ref, basically saying like, "Hey, he shouldn't be playing." The fact that he's giving him every shot. You know what? It is partly true, but at the same time, he let a lot of things go with Argentina as well too. So please, they cannot complain about it. And the fact that they won. If the same referee is going to be playing against Croatia versus Argentina, and Argentina loses, they're going to blame this referee for sure. They're going to constantly complain, just like the way Portugal complained about this referee when they played against Morocco. Portugal, Pele was not Pele. I forgot his name now. Give me a second. I'm gonna have to pause. Sorry, it just came to me. Pepe was basically complaining about the referee as well. So it was like, hey, they should let them play. But in reality, if you look at a lot of the video, basically, the ref didn't do that much against Portugal. I mean, he let them play. It's just they were just complaining because I hate to say it, but it seems like they were just sore losers because of the fact that they lost to Morocco the way they did. I think it was more of a case where, you know what, Portugal should man up. Granted, you didn't want to see Cristiano at CR7 basically leaving the way he left. You wanted him to at least you wanted that sort of storybook matchup with Argentina versus Portugal, Messi versus CR7, Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean. You wanted to see that, but you know what? It seems like it wasn't faded. Now the real question is, will it be Mbappe versus Messi? I don't know. Messi, I don't know. But in reality, you know what? I have a feeling that France and Morocco, it's going to be a little bit tricky in that matchup. I want to say France is going to advance, but because I thought for sure France would beat Portugal for sure. But the way Morocco played against Portugal, this is going to be a tricky one. I want to still say France, to be honest. But if they play lackadaisical, like the way they played against England, I mean, they capitalized at least. But if they play lackadaisical, and if Morocco's defense plays up to what they're capable of, I think honestly, I would not be surprised if it's a Croatia versus Morocco in the finals. I would not be surprised. Both of them really good defensively. They play really well defensively, and they know how to handle the ball well. They don't have that many great scores, but they know how to play defensively well. And defense, as they say in American football, basketball, baseball, even for that matter as well too, and hockey for sure. Defense wins games. You will say, "Oh no, it's got to be all offense." But you know what? We could talk back to the American football Super Bowl games, some of the Super Bowls. I mean, the Tampa Bay Bucks. And definitely the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, that was all defense. Those last two Super Bowls in 2000 against my Giants, and also when Baltimore played against San Francisco, that was pure defense. I mean, that was just their defense. Same thing with the Tampa Bay Bucks when they won. It was Warren Sapp and his entire defense. Dilfer didn't do much. They just needed a decent quarterback, and that was proven at that point. So if you have a really tough and good defense, then you should be good. I mean, even let's just say bluntly, when the Giants, 2007 Giants, won against the Patriots, it wasn't really their offense; it was their defense that kept them in the game. Kept them in the game to the point where, all you needed is one or two good throws from Eli, and that was it. So it's the same thing here in soccer/football. If you're really good defensively, you should be able to handle it, and you should be able to win at that point, or at least make it close enough that it gives you the opportunities to win. And there'll be shots where you can capitalize on the mistakes of your opponent at that point. So this is one thing I think where if both Morocco and Croatia play to their expectations of defensively, they can be in the World Cup finals against each other essentially, because it's a case where, well, first off, Argentina, if they play sloppy like they did with Netherlands, Croatia's in for sure. Same thing with France. Basically, if they take Morocco for granted and they play sloppy, Morocco's in for sure. But what I will see basically is most likely this. It's probably most likely going to be France and Argentina in the finals. Let me know if I'm wrong, or if you think I'm wrong, or if you think I'm right. Like, dislike, comment, feedback. Open to discussions about this. And as far as with the referees are concerned and such, specifically with Argentina, Netherlands game, as well as the Portugal and Morocco game. If you think the refs played a huge factor into that, let me know. I honestly don't think the refs played a huge factor in the Portugal Morocco game. The Argentina Netherlands game, yes, I think there was a lackadaisical aspect of the referee not doing as much as he should have. Basically, I mean, I'll be straight up and front. Up front, some people's like, oh, whoa, like when Messi did the handball, it was in their own. No, you know what? It doesn't matter. Wherever you do it, it's still a handball, no matter what. So the fact that they didn't call him is because of the fact it was a little bit of favoritism in that aspect, or is it more of a case where like maybe there was some dictation from the FIFA upper heads is like, hey, we got to push Argentina to get up ahead. Basically, we have to get them up ahead. Basically, at that point, I have a feeling it's a strong possibility that. All right, let's put it this way: if Argentina advances to the finals and there's a case where like there are some questionable calls that come into play, then you know that the FIFA management upper heads basically were pushing and probably dictating to the refs, hey, like let's get Argentina in there basically because we push it in there, we'll probably get a higher ratings versus Croatia and Morocco. I think there would have been honestly, I think it would have been a huge ratings boost if it was Messi versus Ronaldo in the finals, but that's not happening, of course. So I don't know if there's going to be huge ratings between with Messi versus Mbappe. We'll see. We'll have to wait and see. But outside of that, until next time, unfiltered, unedited, and unrehearsed.